welcome. Once my competition, then my teammate, my friend, my brother, the country, doughboys, McCartney loving, soon to be husband, businessman, and uncle, Peter McGarry, aka PJ. Here in the flesh, we're at his house right now. Ate some pizza, bullshitted for
couple hours almost. Yeah.
So here we are. We ran out of things to talk about already.
I know.
But R&R, that's my podcast. Ramble and Reflect.
All right.
Here we are. We're doing the first podcast, and I guess my first question is, how you been?
I've been great. But before I answer that, dude, that was a hell of an intro. Like I was expecting more, like a longer one, but like that was like more within less words. It was awesome. So yeah,
I had to do it.
I've been good. I'm happy to have seen you twice now within the last 2 months. Because before that, it was probably what?
I got 2 years.
Once maybe? In 2 years, yeah. Other than that, all is well.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. So we're at your home.
Yep.
How old are you?
28. Be 29 in a couple months.
Me too.
Pushing 30.
We're getting close to 30, my boy. You are somebody that I met in high school, and we kind of hit it off pretty much right away. And in the intro, I said competition because I remember when you first got to the team, you were in my position.
I know.
So coach came to me and was like, "Hey, this is good competition. Like, watch out, he might take your spot." I was like, well, "Fuck this dude," you know?
No way.
And so then we became friends and kind of bonded, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I'm excited to kind of get into that because we met in high school.
Yep.
I mean, now that's 10 years ago, but
don't even say that.
Dude,
oh my god.
But explain to me kind of where you were at that time in your life. Was soccer kind of the thing? What was going on when you moved, and where did you move from?
Good question. I grew up in Redford my whole life, so that was all I knew. It was fine for me. Elementary school, middle school, then the area it changed a little bit. It wasn't always the best for the whole time I was living there. So my dad was a little bit concerned with my younger sister and raising her there for her adult life. So. We moved my sophomore year of high school. And to tie into your question again, as far as soccer goes, I played soccer at Thurston, and I only had my group of friends from when I grew up with 4 or 5 guys, and then the rest. I didn't really meet too many other friends in high school. At Thurston it was.
Gotcha.
But so soccer, I guess, was like my only tie to high school. Other than that, it was just like
This was like a simple move.
A chore. Yeah. It was like, I just got to go.
What were you thinking when you moved?
I was so nervous.
Dude,
nervous.
Going to a new high school.
Yeah.
What year was that? Like, was that freshman, sophomore? What was that?
I started Franklin, so the new high school, junior year.
Okay. So you came in mid. Like, it was just like,
no,
bam.
The start of junior year. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was soccer season.
Yep. So that was nice because I got to meet all the soccer guys before, thank God.
Yeah.
Because if I had to
like
walk
summer,
in blind, it would have been terrible.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
So... all your boys, you left them all to come to Franklin, but some of them were close by. I mean, Hunter went to Stevenson, right?
Hunter went to Stevenson.
So it wasn't like too bad. Like it wasn't like you moved to a different country or something.
No.
Yeah, it was like kind of like nice still. You
Not
still
at all.
had your boys.
Yep. And Jack, one of my best friends, came to Franklin too.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah. So then prior to, let's jump back even a little bit more. Like before that. Where did you begin? Like, what do you remember? What are some things that, like, back in the day, you know, before you met me, before you know, did you have these boys with you your whole life, or like, was it like you and your family? You know, like, what was that like? How did that start?
Also a good question. I've been friends with my original friend group basically since kindergarten, first grade, which is a blessing to be able to say. You know, not many people can say, you know, they've been friends for 20-something years. So
that's nuts.
That was always a good, like, core part of my life from as long as I've had a memory. But probably the biggest memory of myself and growing up before moving into a new school and soccer and stuff was skateboarding. So I skateboarded from time I was like, I don't know,
Mr.
10.
Scheckler. Okay.
Yeah, Ryan Scheckler. You know, I had the flow going. So.
Yeah.
Other than that stopped once soccer really started.
Okay.
And then soccer kind of became a big part of who I was, and then also like my friends. You know, so that's how we met. That's how I met the other guys on the team.
Like kind of a lot of different relationships.
Yep. Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah. So like when you were growing up, you were in Redford majority of your life.
Yep.
Right. So
Yep.
Out there, you're saying that you moved for your sister mostly and kind of just being in a better area.
Yep.
And from that, I remember when I met you, your dad was always working, it seemed. Like he was always like doing something.
Yep.
And same thing with your mom. Your mom was always, she seemed like she was around, but she was always working, doing something, stressed, something. So talk about that. Talk to me about your how you were kind of raised and how that kind of made you like, I don't know, like be able to get into it. Or maybe it was soccer obviously was kind of like your safe place. So like what was that? How does that equal out?
Yeah, so that's a big, I would say a big part of who I am today is realizing, I never knew it or at an early age, but like my parents were always working and it was, just to make ends meet. Gotcha. So when you're 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13, you don't really realize it, you're just like, they're just going to work and they're coming home, and that's it. But like, it was a blessing because I never realized it, like all the holidays still happened, all the family events still happened and things like that. But once I got older, I think I started to realize, there was some financial stress and burden and conversations that I would overhear, from my room that my parents, maybe weren't going to be able to pay a certain bill or something like that, or older vehicles, things like that. And that's an early question in the podcast, but it's also a big piece of my motivation and everything 100%. That is going to channel into who I am today. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And I think foreshadowing, I think that we're going to get into that for sure. But I think that that's a big part of like something that I noticed when I first met you was like, when we first met, it was competition. And like I said, then we turned into friends, brothers. Yep. We got so close and we were just acting like idiots together. But I remember very much so your family. And they were always there or always, and whether they were arguing or like just hanging out or whatever, like singing along to some song, when we're throwing it loud as hell, I think that in those moments, it was like, I could tell that they played a big role in your life.
Always.
And you're saying that you didn't really notice a lot of like, as a kid, like you don't really notice like, oh, the bills or like, now I'm 28 too. And it's like, God dang, like, where's my money going, dude? Like,
exactly.
I'm making more money than I ever thought I was going to make, and it's gone. Like, I have less money than birthday cards from when I was 10.
Literally,
And it's like, so jumping to that, like, your parents, did you ever notice that? What was the time that you started noticing the stressors, the things that your parents were kind of maybe arguing about or maybe stressing about or things? When did you notice and what was that moment for you?
That's also a good question. I would probably say late high school years.
Okay.
Gotcha. Just because that's you're becoming a young person, young man at that point, and you can kind of understand what people are talking about, and you know what bills are, you know what vehicles people drive, So noticing stuff like that is not easy when you're younger, but as you get older, it becomes apparent. And then college, I really started to understand, especially because so many people that I was in school with were talking about student loans and how to pay for school and whatnot. So looking back, that's kind of what opened my eyes to everything, because I didn't know that like how financial aid worked or anything of that sort. I was fortunate enough to have school paid for, because if you get into U of M, they do this thing called the Michigan Promise, where if your household brings in under a certain threshold, they pay for your tuition if you can get in.
Okay.
So looking back, I didn't know it then, but that's why it was paid for. And now it's like, wow, man, without that, I wouldn't win. Yeah,
but you know what is interesting about that is I think that's one of the key things that I also want to touch base on. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're so close. Is I remember, and it's kind of like you're saying, like you notice things, but you don't really put two and two together until maybe later.
Yeah.
Or maybe until something happens. And I can say that for me, I would be over at your house randomly. I'm one of those people that kind of just like stop by.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And so like I just knock and I'm like, hey.
Yep.
And you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I'm trying to study for a test or some shit, and you're like, oh fucking 5 a year,
Yep.
Or you hear my Mustang coming around the corner or whatever it was, and it was just like, God dang. Okay.
That was a fun time.
And it was fun, and we had our times, but I know that sometimes you're like, fuck, I gotta do this and balance studying.
Exactly.
And it was always that. And you were always studying. And you were always... So I think, for one, take a little credit. It's not just the Michigan Promise. It's not just that. It's you busted your butt to get good grades. I mean, I'm pretty sure you got like an award or some shit in high school for it. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Coming for me, like I didn't care. I didn't really look at those things and go, that's what I want. And looking at it now, it probably would help some things, but give yourself some credit.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? Because you put yourself in that position to then be able to get that.
True.
You hit the marks, the requirements.
Right.
And so that's part of it.
Thank you. You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
It is. It is.
So I don't know if you ever thought about that, but that's kind of part of it. Now, did you ever feel kind of like you were in that bracket of like not making enough money in your like household? And like if you did notice that, when did it ever affect you and how like you thought about things, or did it give you motivation? What did that do to you?
So yes, absolutely. It absolutely motivated me. But during like college, it didn't really set in until I knew more about finances, because I was having my tuition paid for, and so you get like a meal plan with that. So I didn't need a job, theoretically in college. You know, if I wanted like fun money, it was like from birthday cards or random stuff or whatever. But like towards the end of school, when I started to think about like, okay, now I have to get a job and pay for stuff and yada yada, that's when everything set in, and the transition between like not understanding to like really seeing, you know, like how my parents were struggling, that's when it set in. And I was like, all right, whatever I do, like I'm doing it like tenaciously, you know, like I'm not stopping. I need to be able to pay them back. And
So you're saying that like you realize like kind of like at the end of the path in college, and you're like, you know, like you're doing everything, you're doing the thing, you're getting the grades, you're doing it. What did you go to school for?
So when I started school, and this might be the same with a lot of people from harder financial backgrounds, but I just went into school kind of with a bad mindset of what makes the most money.
Okay.
I'm going to go into that field. So I was like, all right, I'm going to be a doctor. That's all I knew. So I was doing pre-med classes, whatever. And then I realized I hated it. And then like 2 years later, I was like, I'll just be a dentist because they make a lot of money too. Yeah. And I just jumped around between like, this makes a lot of money, this makes a lot of money. Eventually I got to the point where I realized, well, I kind of like law enforcement. You know, you can use your brain. It's like cat and mouse game. It's fun, you know. Yeah. So I always had a pull to like do something of that sort. So I majored in Spanish and crime and justice as a minor.
Okay.
Definitely not the typical Michigan education that people would go for, but it has served me well in what it led to.
Okay. I want to jump a little bit. You then, so like prior to Michigan, you were playing soccer, studying a lot, hanging out with your boys, doing whatever.
Yep.
At what point did you like, was there like an aspiration or a dream when you were a kid? Like I can tell you for me, I always wrote things down and spelled it wrong. I was the worst speller, but I would like, you know, I still have a notebook from back in the day where it's like, what do I want to be? And it's like top 10 things.
Oh, no way. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like I look at that and I'm like, it might be cheesy or corny or whatever, but like I can see that and be like, I went after that.
Yeah.
You know, like that's...
Oh, I know you did.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, and so like, is there something for you like that? Or like, is there maybe not a journal, or maybe it was like you had a poster on your wall and you're like, I want to be like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Sue, you know, something, you know?
Of course that, but I would probably say like the whole FBI agent was kind of like what I was motivated to do. I didn't know anything about law enforcement or what other stuff there was, but I just knew it was like...
We don't as kids.
Yeah, you really don't. There's two more, I know.
Yeah.
Or too much, sorry. But the FBI, I knew it was like the top dog.
Yeah.
And I wanted to work hard to be like the best. So I was like, okay, I want to do that. And so I just figured out like there was a different career path, kind of similar. And I did it. You know, I'm happy I went for it, and I learned a lot about myself. Had to do stuff that like I never thought I would do. Like the academy, just being tased. Gotcha. Being sprayed in the face with pepper spray.
All right, well, wait.
Stuff like that. So
you went to school, and then you did that, right?
Went to school, graduated.
Give me some timeline here. So you
got it.
You played soccer. You moved to Franklin junior year, and then you went to school. You worked hard. Everything there. Then you got into Michigan, University of Michigan, Ann Arbor.
Yep.
You went to there. and you studied and you changed your what you wanted to go path wise.
Yeah.
And then a couple times, and then you were like, okay, I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna go back to what I wanted to do as a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe not FBI, but you wanted to go, law enforcement, and maybe that led to that. Maybe it didn't, but okay, I'm gonna go take the steps to go do that.
Yep.
Okay, we're here now.
Yep.
You graduated.
Okay,
so I
graduated school.
And then what?
Had like I graduated school, and then for the summer I ended up just getting a random job for like a couple months just while I figured stuff out, basically.
Gotcha.
And so my first like real job out of college was literally not even a job, basically, money wise,
Yeah.
So it was something with Spanish. So it was like a bilingual, bilingual like customer service agent.
Yeah.
For a Guardian alarm. So
okay.
They would install alarms, and they'd have technicians.
Like a call center guy.
Similar, yeah. So it was good for my Spanish. It was very good. I was talking, speaking it every day, but I knew it wasn't forever. So after that, that's when I was transitioned. I worked for a local police department. Okay. So Detroit Police for a while. That was fun. It was really cool. So,
what did you do? Like how do you just like you're like, okay, I'm a policeman today?
Yeah.
Like, what was that process like? You gotta like show me, like talk to me, because I don't even know, and I'm your friend. Like I don't even know what that process was like. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
it wasn't an officer. So it was an analyst. Okay. In a gun unit. So it was really cool. Cool stuff. But I basically just found it online because I was always looking for entry-level type jobs.
Gotcha, yeah.
So I just applied online, just like you would on Indeed, for something random. Yeah. And I got an interview while I was at Guardian, just doing the call center stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I don't even care what the salary is. I'm doing it. Yeah. So it wasn't even that good of a salary, but it was a job in the field I wanted to be in. Yeah. So then I was there. That's when I transitioned to like, okay, I want to take the next step. I want to, go to the feds, basically, and try to be an officer. So I left DPD. Yeah, a pig. Yeah. So DPD for like 8 months. Yeah. Went to the federal officer route, which was cool. So
where does that start? How does that work?
That was probably COVID-ish, so like 2020. Okay. And it was a long process. You got to do a whole background investigation. They got to talk to your family, friends, neighbors, a polygraph, like all this
crazy,
super formal stuff, medical, make sure you're healthy. So
no drugs.
I had no drugs, no alcohol. Yeah, had to tell them all my crazy college stories. Yeah, dang. Truthful. So after that, I got hired after the probably 6-month process to just get hired.
I remember it felt like you were doing that for a year.
It was terrible. Yeah, it's like you're stuck in like a purgatory. Yeah. But once I got hired, then I had to go to Georgia for the actual academy. That's where everyone trains to become an officer.
Gotcha. Talk to me about that. So is it like, for me, like boot camp, right?
Yep.
Is it like kind of like that where you're locked in, there's no phones or whatever it is? Like what is it? What is that like? Are you're put up in a hotel? You put up in a dorm? What is it?
It's like the barracks basically. So I was with another officer. So it was double bunked up in a room, same shower, same routine every day, no phones, very strict, like similar to boot camp, very militaristic, police-like, you're standing at attention every time someone walks in the room and all that stuff that no one out here knows what we're talking about. But, so that was 6 months in Georgia, and it was also during the end of COVID. Okay. So what made it worse is that it was on a base in Georgia, and typically after work hours, you could leave. It was COVID, so they had us locked down. So once you test negative for COVID, you're allowed onto the base. Yeah. You can't leave. Dang. 6 months. Dang. So it's brutal. So after that, that's when I came back after the academy, and now we're 2022. Yeah. Or the end of 2021, sorry. That's when I was an actual officer. Okay. Working at the bridge in Detroit, between Canada and Detroit.
So you're a police officer at that point?
Federal officer, yep. Oh, yep. Shit. So carried a gun, handcuffs, all that,
I didn't even know that.
Really?
Didn't even know that.
Like actually?
Swear to God, I didn't know that.
No way. Okay.
I'm being serious.
Yeah, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that was probably 6 months of my life. I worked very weird hours. Yeah. Weird off days, working like, I don't know, probably 4 p.m. to 2 a.m., 10 hours. So I was there for like 6 months as an officer. Yeah. That's where my whole life changed, because every single day going into work, everyone was...
Your dream job.
Dream job. Absolutely.
Dream job.
Dream job.
You worked up to this point knowing as a kid you wanted to do this. You have done what you needed to do, changed your everything, gone, finished it, did it, you're there.
And life's crazy. And life is crazy because I spent so many years thinking that that is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I would realize that every day going into work, there was a common theme everyone always talked about. You have any idea what I'm referring to?
No, I want to hear it, yeah.
Retirement.
Yeah.
I'm like...
I want to go home.
I'm 20, whatever I was, 25 years old.
Yeah.
Why is everybody talking about the end of, not their life, but you know, why is everyone talking about 25 years down the road? Yeah. So after like 6 months, I grew the courage to say, screw it.
Wait a sec. Wait. So you did all this, right? Mm-hmm. And you're there.
Yep.
And you know, it's not just maybe a little bit of some words here and there.
Yeah.
You're going in every day and you're not liking, maybe it's the culture, maybe it's just the people, maybe it's the job. Yeah. Whatever it is. What is it? What is it? And where was that moment? Was it a single moment or was it like, hey, this is just like, I'm getting tired of this? And where was that switch?
I think what it was for me is not so much the job. The job was cool. It wasn't what they made it out to be, but what it was the life changes that you had to go through. And I specifically remember one of the biggest moments was one of my first days, like on my own. Okay. You know, so I don't have a training officer with me. I'm like doing my thing by myself. Yeah. Can make my own decisions. And I was talking with someone else, and they were trying to justify why this was a good career, right? Gotcha. And what they had to say for why it was a good career. Their off days were Tuesday and Wednesday. This particular officer, and they said, well, this is awesome because it makes it really easy for me to schedule my appointments. And like at first, I just agreed. You know, I was like, yeah, that's great. And then I just kind of like sat there and was like, is this what I want my life to be? Appointments. Do I want my highlight of my life to be off Tuesday and Wednesdays so I can schedule my damn haircut? Yeah. You know. Yeah. And that's what changed it all. And then from there, it just resonated. And
okay, so you say change it all. So you go in that day, bam. You're like, you had this conversation. That was kind of like the spark of like, okay, maybe this is not the right thing. But I feel like there's so many other jobs in that area where you could have gone. For sure. What was the process like at this point? Were you with Sam, or what was going on? Like, what was your life at? Like, what was the out here? Not just work. Yeah. What were you doing out here? Yeah. Like, because you don't have time. Yeah. So, like, what is that? I'm sure there was a bunch of changes from, okay, you got it, you did all this training, now you're here. Yep. Now you're here, and you're like, well, I kind of want this to end.
Yeah. It was a pretty harsh awakening because you go from being in college or high school or whatever into having weekends off, seeing all your family, seeing all your friends, making every holiday, to being told you work every holiday. Yeah. And that wasn't an issue with me. You know, you have to sacrifice to get good things in life. Of course, yeah. But it just started to grow, you know, on me that like this isn't what I was really looking for. You know, I wanted more freedom. You know, I wanted to work hard to create a life for myself that was like not stuck. And I felt stuck. Yeah. That makes sense.
No, I think it does in the sense of like time.
Yeah. Yep.
But you know, I feel like that was kind of something that you might have known going into it. Yeah. So what was it? Something that it was like you just like you had that conversation. You're like, okay, it's not the appointments, it's the time, maybe. Yeah. You know, but then like, what was going on at home where it was like, okay, why do I want so much time away from the work? If that was what you wanted to do, that's what you kind of worked towards doing. And why was it then? Did you change into a different division? How did that work? Like, what was that?
Good. What was that? That's like? A good follow-up question because I always knew that going into it was Customs and Border Protection. Yeah. So the guys that work at the borders. Yeah. So I always knew that like that was a stepping stone for me. Gotcha. So while there, I was also applying to another federal job as a special agent. Okay. That special agent role was my dream job. Okay. So I needed one more step. So
gotcha. Was that attainable?
It was. Okay. It was. So 4 months into my time as an officer, 2 months before I quit. Okay. I started the process.
Jumping ahead. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So I started the process to apply to become a special agent.
Okay.
So this was probably...
This is what I remember. This is like where I thought it began.
Yep.
To be honest.
Okay. Got it. So I was working as an officer, didn't really like it.
Yeah.
Was also in that hiring process for the special agent.
Yeah.
Another drawn out process, but I already had like that background check that they just did.
Yeah.
So it kind of transfers over.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That makes sense. So once I was far enough along in that process, I already knew I was in that process.
Okay.
I did not have to stay at my current position to stay in that process.
Gotcha.
So knowing that the whole time, I was being pushed more and more away from what I wasn't enjoying.
Yeah.
Because that was my end goal, my dream job.
Yeah.
This is early 2022.
Okay.
So I mustered the courage I cried several days trying to make this decision, think about it.
Why?
Just
what were you crying about? Are you stuck?
security.
What was it? Yeah.
Security, because it was
Money or
money and just future. Like it was a stable career with a pension, retirement, everything that society tells you to go after.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Everything.
Money,
basically. Yeah. And like, oh, your family will be taken care of and stuff, which is true.
Yeah.
Which is very true.
Gotcha.
So I was like, you know what? I can't do it. I know there's more somehow, some way, whether it be that new special agent position or whatever. So I put my resignation in. I was in a training and I was typing my resignation email, and I was so far spaced out it wasn't even funny. Yeah.
So at that point, you're excited on one hand because here's your dream job and it's in like reach. Mm-hmm. It's right there. But you're kind of beat up because you've been doing this for a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're like, God, I thought I was going to really enjoy this.
Yeah.
And are you having doubts like in your dream job? Or are you kind of like, you're like, I'm just so done with this. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it was a process, obviously. So I was having doubts every day. Like,
were you talking to somebody about it? Or were you like, how are you dealing with that?
Other officers, which was probably a mistake because they were almost every single person there.
Yeah.
There was a select few that pushed me. But almost everyone there was
to do what? To like
push me to leave.
Okay.
Which was a very select few, small percentage.
Yeah.
Everyone else was, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're young.
Ruining your life.
You're dumb. You're ruining your life. You'll regret this.
Yeah.
One of the guys that I'll never forget to this day.
Yeah.
He specifically said, once he found out I was leaving, I'll see you back here in 2 months when mommy's money runs out. Little did he know, I, have not taken help from my parents ever because they can't.
Yeah.
And second, that was like lit a flame under my ass to like, okay, all right. So that was a moment I'll never forget. But through this whole process is while I was resigning, I was also in the process of starting a business. Just looking.
You're just testing the waters, just chat, like
you basically
back and forth. What was it that? Like, what was that? Because it's like that's just kind of that's out of the blue.
It is very out of the blue, and
that has nothing to do with what you went to school for, what you dreams, all of it.
Completely out of the blue.
Yeah.
Life happens again, crazy ways. But when I was going back to the time that I spent in Georgia, because it was during COVID.
Yeah.
This was a blessing in disguise for me because I had nothing to do.
Yeah.
So I would just sit on my phone and just scroll through Twitter and read about ideas and ways to make money that wasn't.
What's on your Twitter? My Twitter is way different.
Don't worry, my stuff. Other stuff on there too, but so I came across the idea of how to start a business.
Yeah.
Very loose, whatever, and I was like, "Wow, cool," So it was always in the back of my
back of your head. From
That's
that
it.
Day. Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
But it never really was like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. So that's kind of I basically told myself like, all right, well, if I quit my job, I have some saved up,
Okay.
And I can pay my bills for a while. So I gave myself like.
And your bills were you in an apartment? Did you have your house at this time?
We were here.
Okay.
So it was split. It was split with Sam, my fiance. So it was just us and the dogs.
Yeah.
I still had my old car, which was paid off. So I didn't have a car payment or anything.
You didn't have my
basically
problem.
just.
Yeah. I was just always switching cars.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
Idiot over there.
But I
smart.
I never had a cool ride. Yeah, to each their own. But so I knew I could do it. You know, I wasn't going to be able to live lavish, but like it was worth the risk. So I told myself, like, if I'm going to do it, I think that maybe this business idea that I saw in the academy is something worth looking at. So I would just look at it here and there.
So wait, so you gave your like you quit. You put in the letter like I'm done, and in between. So from that time to like you starting your next position at your dream job, where is this at?
Good question.
Like, was this like you've had this in your head since you went to Georgia?
Yeah.
But it's never been like a backup. It was just a thought.
It was just a thought.
So like, what was like? You were just like, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna try. Like, I'm just gonna in this period of time, however long.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was definitely just a thought, and I had seen multiple different things, like how to make money, you know, on your own. Yeah. You know how like awful some of those things are. So before I quit, I knew I had there was two things I was interested in.
Yeah.
One, which is funny to look at now, was like selling on Amazon. So just like finding products and buying low and selling high. Yeah. So that was one, and then the second was a house cleaning business. I had no clue what the hell I wanted to do.
But where did house cleaning come from?
Also,
I think most people
Twitter.
are like cut grass, like
exactly,
you know, something like that. If they're starting a business, especially dudes, especially in this, I feel like
100%. Yeah, 100%. So it was another thing I saw on Twitter that was like, it's easy-ish to start, and it's like low startup, cost. So it wasn't like I had to go buy a ton of machinery or mowers and things like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have much. Yeah. So that was my motive to look into it. Gotcha. It was like, I can start it easily.
Gotcha.
With not much money. So that was kind of the initial motive. Okay. It wasn't anything to do with the cleaning houses. Yeah. It was just like cheap to start.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was like the motive for that. So I quit the federal officer job. Probably that was April 2022. Okay. I tried Amazon selling for like a month. Okay. I was picking up supplements from like wholesalers, selling them on Amazon, and making like $100.
No way.
Here and there.
I didn't know that.
It was very random, very, very random. Also cool.
Yeah.
Because like
you learned something.
Yeah, I learned a little bit. So I had like a bunch of equipment here, like to print out labels and shipping labels and all this, whatever. That was like a month, and I'm like, what am I doing? This isn't sustainable. Yeah, so I had like a self-talk and was like, all right.
This is just you.
This is just me.
Yeah.
Just myself. And so quit that job, did Amazon selling for about a month. So this takes us to May of 2022.
Okay. Yeah.
And I told myself, I need to replace my income from my previous job so that way I can start saving and being an adult and contributing to whatever in 2 months, which is a pretty heavy task to do. Yeah. I failed. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But it was enough motive for me to actually start the house cleaning business.
What was the motive?
Was the fact that I had to replace my income.
Gotcha.
So the Amazon.
So you didn't set up your dream job. Like you didn't have. You were like, I'm done.
This is where that dream job comes into play. Okay. So once we're at.
Because it was in play. It was just it was a thought, just like kind of like I want that, but.
Correct. Yeah, it wasn't
like set up. It's not like, okay, yeah, you start in 2 months.
It was a hiring process. So I was in the process, but just waiting for an email on, hey, you passed. Now you're on the next step.
Gotcha.
So it was just in limbo.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm waiting on that and just kind of lollygagging in the background. That's why I wasn't too pressured.
Because I kind of felt like you had security. Mm-hmm. You were like, I'm going to have this.
Yeah.
So like the money will come.
Yeah.
Everything will come. But it's for right now, I'm just going to have some fun and try to like do something fun on the side and make some money.
Exactly that. Yeah. Like 100%.
I don't want like a regular job, but I want something that I can kind of do stuff.
That's the exact thought I had.
Yeah.
So that was like my temporary thought process behind everything is exactly what you said. Like I don't want to get another job while I'm waiting. So I'm just going to try something on my own. You know, I just need to fill a few months. That's it. Yeah. And so once I started the house cleaning business, it started off slow. I had no clue what I was doing at all. My mom and sister, to this day, are one of the biggest helps for me getting that business off the ground, and I will forever repay them for doing it.
Yeah.
So it was just myself, mom, and sister cleaning houses here and there. I was taking pictures, posting it on Facebook, and trying whatever.
Wait. So is this, you started a business, like LLC type thing? Like you did the whole nine? Like
whole nine.
And you just were like, I'm going for it. And this was like, you're still like expecting to go here, but like I'm starting a business, and if it doesn't do good, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna be here, whatever. But like,
yeah. So,
how are you feeling there? Like, how did it start? Like, it's like, so you just thought of it back here, and then you got to here, but like, when was the turning point? When was like, okay, I'm just gonna really go for it? Like, you did the Amazon thing, and just one day you were just like, fuck it, like I'm gonna do it. Or like, was there a conversation? Was there inspiration? Was there a mentor? What was it?
Yeah, that's a perfect question to ask, because I left that part out. So when I was scrolling Twitter and like I saw the initial idea, there was like a person that I followed that like would tweet about the idea all the time. And so there was like a flash sale that this dude ran on one of his like documents, and it was literally A to Z how to start a house cleaning business. So I shit you not, I used that instead of $350 value, it was $75 for this document. And mind you, I did not have a lot of money. So I was laying in bed one night and forced myself to buy it. Like Sam was already asleep. I'm like, my mind was spinning. Like, exactly. I still remember it. I bought that like document and kind of studied it for like a month and did exactly what it said. So I went to this YouTube video, how to file an LLC, how to find insurance, how to hire cleaners. No clue what I was doing.
That's crazy.
And that's how it started. So the biggest fork in the road that I've been in my life was probably the end-ish of 2022. So I was about 3 or 4, maybe 5, 6 months, something like that, into the business. The hiring process for the special agent job finished. I got a final offer. I got a call while I was cleaning an apartment with my sister that was a formal extension of a job offer to be a special agent. Also cried at that moment.
I was gonna ask, what does that feel like? Because you're supposed to feel like accomplished. You're supposed to feel like, holy crap, my dream is real. Like, I just made it to the freaking NBA or something. Like, that's your moment.
Exactly.
That's what you've been shooting for.
And it was that, but it was weird because I got the offer, but it wasn't in Michigan, so I would have had to move. And going back to what this whole conversation started with, his family and everything, immediately in my head, I was so excited, and then I was like, moving away would be tough and stuff, but I already.
And you're there with your sister and your mom cleaning this apartment.
It was just me and my sister that day, so she was extremely happy for me.
Was it just like one of those things where like you're on the phone and like she can kind of hear what the conversation's going, and she like stops what she's doing? How was that? Like, what was that? I got to know, because you and your sister are very close. Yeah,
she was. I specifically remember it was a smaller apartment. She was in the bathroom and I was in the living room, and she could obviously hear me. I had always stopped to take calls, but like she knew this one was different just by tone of my voice. It was very serious, very like law enforcement, like and she immediately, like, I could see her out of the corner of my eye. She stopped what she was doing, stopped cleaning, and was peeking out at me, and I was smiling. I gave like a big thumbs up, and it was a surreal moment. And at that point, like, I had they give you I want to say like 14 days to either accept or decline the job. So in my head, I'm like, man, this is great. I'm gonna, I'll be able to run the business from wherever, or my sister will help me or whatnot, and I'm gonna do it. And so the next like 2 weeks, I'm just sitting there day and night, like, what do I do? Like, do I move? Do I not move? Nothing was business related. Everything was that career. And I'm like, do I move? Do I not move? Is this what I want? Is this what I not want? But then it actually came down to, like the last couple of days, and I was like, I have to make a decision. I have to grow up at this moment and make a decision. And so on the very last day, I was going back and forth between like what this job would offer. And mind you, it's Monday through Friday, weekends off, plain clothes, very badass. You know, you carry a gun, no one even knows you have it.
Yeah.
Doing undercover stuff, like exactly what I wanted, dream job, everything. And on my countertop out there, on my something in my heart, told me decline the job offer and continue with business. And to this day, that's the biggest decision I've ever made. That has been for the better. So I still look back and have some regret about it.
Really?
But
what's the
not
regret?
much. Not
What's
much.
the regret?
Just that I never got to experience the like prestige of finally making it to that career. Because I worked
you worked really
doing
hard
so
to get
much
there.
random stuff, you know, to do it and keep good grades.
Was there something else driving you? Was it like you wanted to like make your family proud or something? Or like what was like that? Or was it just you? You're like, that's something that I want to achieve.
I think it was a true tie to the career.
Okay.
Like I
That's your
really
dream.
really interested in like solving crime and interviewing people and you know, cat and mouse, you know, like I'm better than you and I can catch you.
I can figure this
type
out.
thing. Yeah. Very, it's competition, you know.
I'm thinking that movie with like Tom Cruise, or is it Tom Cruise, where it's like the taxi gator, where they're like printing money and the dude gets really good at like doing checks and stuff.
Oh God, okay.
That movie,
exactly. Like your mind is always at work.
Yeah.
You're not like just doing the same repetitive thing every day. So
kind of what you left.
Yes, it was very repetitive. So I like that the job was different. You know, one day you would be in court, one day you would be on the street. Yada yada.
It was what you wanted.
Variety.
Yeah.
You know, life is more than
a little bit more balance.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. It was the whole nine.
Mm-hmm. I don't
What
know,
made you do that decision? Like you said, that it was just a feeling. Like that's a crazy just a feeling. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's to me, I feel like there was more to it. Like there got to be more to it, or maybe there's not. Maybe it was just like you like procrastinated those 14 days, like overthinking, like oh crap, like what do I do? And you're just like all these things, you know, like were you planning things, or did you have like were you going to say yes, or was that something that you like was about to do, or was it like this you already knew gut feeling that whole time that you were like you know I'm not going to do it, but like you just couldn't get to that.
Yeah.
Before that last day.
I was going to say yes for the first 7 days. I just had to come to terms with the fact that I was going to move away for 3 years. That's the minimum that you had to stay outside of your home location for my family. So it was just wrapping my head around that for 7 days. But then once I got back to, you know, day 8 and reality, I was like, man, you know, this business is kind of nice. You know, like I wasn't making anything, man. Like not much money at all.
Profit, or you're making profit, but just like scraping by. Scraping by.
Like I'm paying my bills, but I didn't have like a ton left over, you know. So, but
I mean, I think that is still pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like
definitely
I think that do you think that if you were not making the payments with your bills and struggling with that, like not having extra money, what would that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what would that decision have been completely different? Have you played with that in your head? Like, was that a thought, or like, if you're like at this moment I am doing good?
Yeah. I think had it been a couple months before, and I was like not paying all my bills, probably because I would have been like, shit, you know, like this is cool. I went for it.
Yeah.
But you know, I think very gratefully it happened where it did, so that way I was able to see the freedom.
Yeah,
it's a drug, man. Business is a drug because you control your own time, and it's very rare in this day and age to do that. Most people have to, you know, like on a Tuesday for me, I wasn't making much money, but I was in control of my day. If I wanted to take a call and walk outside and stretch, I could. I didn't have someone telling me, you have 15 minutes, get back to work. And like that, it's a drug, you know. It's like, it's not the money, and it's the freedom.
So, okay, I mean, you're in the apartment, you get the call, you're sitting there 14 days, you got to make a decision. The rest of your life is sitting on the line here.
Yeah.
And you're like, I got my dream right here.
Yeah.
All I have to do is say yes.
Yeah, literally.
And the only thing that's really holding you back is family.
Yeah. And honestly, to even make it even better of a situation than it was, they told me that for the like pre-academy, which is like the couple months that you like train before you go again to the training, which have been another 6 months, they said, you know what, instead of coming to Ohio for those first 2 months, we'll let you do all your training in Detroit. So that was, I asked, you know, I had no place to ask that, but before I was even hired, but they approved it. So I was like, damn, I don't even have to leave yet. I can just start adjusting.
Dang. So you kind of had like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Like really, like in that moment, you're like, you had everything, but then the last day, you're like, something told you, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna go for it. Was it like, did that light a fire under you? Like what was that then? Like, did you notice something, or did somebody? What was your family's reaction? There's so many questions with that. Like, let's go with what was your family's reaction to you saying no? How did you tell them? How did you tell Sam? Like, that's a giant thing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being like, hey, yeah, here's all my here's our family security, everything right here, and I decided throw that in the garbage.
Yeah, and
you know,
absolutely.
God, who did you tell first? Because that, like, what was that like? What, like, where were you at? Do you remember that? What was that?
I don't remember who I told first. I just remember clicking send on the email.
Yeah.
And I just sat there and
the PJ I know would have been like, throw it, like, toss it across the room.
Yeah.
I'm going doing something like.
Yeah.
What was that? Like that initial reaction? Were you sad, scared? What was that?
Sad for sure, because I felt like I closed the door on the last 5 years of my dreams, which is hard to come to reality with, you know. Yeah. But also talk about lighting a flame under your ass.
Yeah.
That changed it all, because now it's like I did it. I pressed send. I even checked my sent folder to like make sure it went through. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, all right, well, it went through. You know, it's 2 minutes ago. It says sent. So at that point, I was like, we're all in. We're all in. I got to make it work.
Holy crap, dude!
Scary as hell, but you know.
Yeah. So then what? You call somebody, you text somebody. What was that?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I don't remember, because it was so like, you black out. Yeah. You know, like I don't remember.
Do you remember the reaction?
Oh yeah, my dad was terrified.
Really?
Yeah, my dad was. He was terrified because it was secure.
Yeah.
It was all security.
Yeah.
And
what was his reaction? He was scared, right? For you?
Very scared. Very scared. He was asking, like, you know, he's like, is it final? You know, like,
oh God, yeah, I can.
You know what I mean? Like, can you change your mind? You know, well, did you think about it? And
did you think about
it? Yeah. No, I didn't think about it. So yeah, that was scary approaching it to them. But I had a couple people in like in my life, or I guess in my corner, that like when I did it, they were like super happy for me.
Yeah. And
they reassured me that it was like,
were those friends, family, the right choice. Like, what was that? Was that your mom? Was your sister? What was it?
Always my mom, because I could tell her I want to be a bus driver till I'm 90, and she would support me. So love my mom to death, obviously. So her for sure. And then it was also Sam's stepdad.
Okay.
Mark, if you've ever met him, because he owns a business too.
Okay.
So he knew I was deciding between career or business, and he was like, full head of steam, go the business route, trust your mind. Yeah. You know, so he played a big role in pushing me too. Yeah. Crazy. Dang. I know.
So I know your dad, and I know your mom, and so I feel like I can picture the reaction from your dad. Mm-hmm. And I think that for me, I think I could feel his fear.
Oh yeah.
And so I want to know, did you feel it? Like,
I definitely felt it.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how did it make you feel? Did it make you feel kind of like, what was that? Because I'm sure, like, when he said that, it probably cut.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, absolutely.
How did that feel? Like, I want to know, like, what did that do to you? Because I know for me, like, I can say all day long that I don't care what people say.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain people
Yep.
that if I share something and they don't react in a way where I'm like, oh, so you're not proud of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like, you think I'm going to fail. It's like,
Yep.
in reality, if they were just, maybe react like, but then I'm like, okay, well, I'm expecting their reaction and, I'm trying to control that.
Exactly.
So what was that? Like, does that hurt you? What did it do to you?
It didn't so much hurt me as because I knew where he would stand if he had to make the decision for me.
Yeah.
But it kind of like,
how did you explain it to him?
I just told him that like it was the freedom, and he was probably like, what are you talking about, man? Like, what are you talking about, the freedom? Like, I went from being studious, like not like a social nerd, but like an academic nerd, like
to U of M. That's
always studying, always like skipping fun shit. Like, it sucked for a long time, and I was always regimented, so the next regimented step would be get a job.
Yeah.
And he was like baffled that I turned it down.
Yeah.
But I think it proved for me that my decision was one that I made.
Yeah.
And no one else, which was awesome, because like I was always influenced by like, get good grades, go to U of M, do what society says, and now I felt for the first time like, I'm in control. Fuck it, like.
So your dad was scared.
For sure.
And did you feel that ever before that? Like you had been doing the right things, probably maybe because of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was like my motives weren't him being scared or whatever, but it definitely played a part in telling me like that's the safe route and whatnot. But no, that was more, my feelings were separate from his.
Okay.
Which was nice because it didn't weigh on me too much.
Yeah. So then you got your dad. He's kind of scared for you. That is hard to hear, but you're like, I made a decision. Like, I pushed in. There's really no going back. Like, here I am.
Yeah.
Like, after that, you're sitting there. Did you have any, like, you said that you had regret.
Mm-hmm.
What was that feeling like? Did you talk to somebody about it? Did you talk to Sam about it? Did you talk to who? Like, what was that? For me, I'm like, I talk. If anybody knows me, I talk.
Yeah.
And I share. And I've learned that a lot of times when I'm sharing, some people don't want to listen. They don't give a
That's also,
right?
Yeah.
And so I think that, I still talk to this day all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, heck, we started podcasts because I just wanted to
because
hear my freaking voice. So I'm just trying to sit here and go, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to be like, well, how did that not just, like, where was the motivation then? Was it for you then, like, I have to do this? Like, now it's I have to? Like, did it go from kind of like a nonchalant, like, I'm making money, I'm doing decent, like, I'm okay, like, okay, I made this big decision, and now, fuck, like, what do I do? And did it turn into something that you didn't really like, or did it kind of escalate, like, your feelings of, like, go into that for me? Because I like that kind of stuff excites me.
Yeah, and that's a good question to ask too. And I think at first it kind of was like there was no explanation. Yeah. It was just, I think it was like I don't know, something else at work that just made me say I'm gonna decline the job and try it. Like I wasn't sound, like looking back, I'm like, I don't know anything about house cleaning or business. I've no one in my life that has taught me about business or any of this to do it. I just
bought a $75 on sale sheet.
For all I know, it could be
it.
I could have got scammed by some kid. So once it started to grow a little bit more, I put the same effort into business that I did like academics and studying. So like if something wasn't working, I was pissed. I was like, man, no, like this is not okay.
Yeah.
And I would just sit there for hours on end and like, how do I make my website better? How do I hire better? How do I pay for this? How do I, I started having a spreadsheet of like costs and numbers, and I'm like, oh, okay, I like numbers, it was, and then it just started from there, just that same drive. And then I just trial and error.
Dang. So then what were you doing? Like, what was it like? Your business was you. Did you start hiring like accountant or CPA or something? Like what was that like? Because you, like you said, you you just kind of were going off the spreadsheet and going off of like your own intuition
Yeah.
of like what I should do. Were you struggling in areas, or were you kind of like balanced across? Like, you're smart. Like, you put your time into things and you'll study. Did the stuff from college help with that, or did stuff from Google? Where was your sources at? Did you find a mentor? Was it your uncle, like your Sam's uncle?
Sam's stepdad. But no, not. It was basically Twitter. I kind of fell into a niche on Twitter that was like all business oriented.
Okay.
But like young dudes running their own business and people offering help very generously. So
Do you reach out to like individuals?
yeah.
Okay.
So like if I would tweet about a problem,
Yeah.
but like everyone kind of followed each other in that space.
Yeah.
And so if I tweeted like, how do I hire good cleaners? I'm having trouble with this.
Yeah.
Graciously, there were some people that just helped me so much early on, and I'm like, man, how do I repay that? Like looking back now, I'm like, dude, yeah, incredible.
Dang. All right, so we were talking about you liking numbers.
Okay.
Right, you were saying that was kind of, you're pushing for your business, and that was kind of something that you were enjoying, and so that's kind of what you were kind of distracting yourself with.
Yeah.
Was just pushing.
Yep.
And so you got your mom, your sister working for you.
Yep.
You got, at that point, you had made a decision. This is my new dream.
Yep. Yeah.
So, at what point, and is it still? You were talking about your dad, and I know your mom's your biggest fan, and I know your dad. I know where he comes from.
Oh yeah.
So I know why he was worrying.
Yeah.
So, is there a moment yet, or maybe it's something that has happened, maybe it hasn't, that he has come and been like, you did it, you know, or like, I'm like, I understand that. Have you ever had that conversation? What is it like? What is that like? I'm really, really like interested in that dynamic of like, just, you have succeeded. I mean, to me, I feel like I've seen some pretty cool posts.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen some pretty big numbers.
Yeah.
And so talk to me about the business side, the numbers. Shout yourself out a little bit. Give us some, I need to know how good are you doing now? And how long ago was that then?
Yeah. So start of the business was June 2022.
Okay.
And we're November 25.
Yeah.
So three and a half years.
Jesus.
I know. Time's flying. And it also feels like it was yesterday, but it also feels like it was 10 years. So first point, there's definitely been a moment that I've kind of hit myself, and my dad has also, like, once I shared that moment with him, that he's also like shared the moment with me.
Yeah.
Everything government wise, federal officer wise, special agent wise, was public.
Okay.
So all the pay was public.
Yeah.
And like,
it's like the Navy.
exactly.
Yeah.
You got your grade, you got your, exactly.
Everybody says that whole chart.
1,000%.
Yeah,
You know what everybody makes. Yep.
Yeah.
And so I was like infatuated with that, because I was always motivated, like, all right, if I make this much, I'm going to be able to, I don't know, use it to help my family.
Yeah.
That's it. So I would always look at like, okay, once I get this special agent job, after 5 years, I'm going to be making, whatever, this amount, or 6 figures, whatever the heck it would be. And my dad knew all those pay scales. I would have deep talks with him about like, oh, I'm excited. This is what this offers. This is what year 3 I'll be making, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah, for like
Special agent. Yeah, because it was all public. So you always knew what you were going to step up to.
So you're like, I'm working towards this, and this is the route to get this. That's why like the Navy is so like, it's easy, because it's like, here's what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Safe. So once I, in the business, like, hit that certain, I don't even remember when it was, probably took a while.
Yeah.
But once I hit like, that threshold of where I would have been in the special agent career, but with business, that's when my dad was kind of like, one, for me, I was like, wow, this is real.
Yeah.
And then 2, my dad was like, okay. Like,
how was that? Like, it's obviously, it's not like it just came up in conversation, like, oh yeah, how much did you make today?
Yeah.
George, I was,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like, how did you have that conversation? Were you excited to have that conversation? Was it did you like celebrate? You know, like you're watching like YouTube or something, and they're like, I hit 100,000.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever,
I know.
You know like,
I wish it was. Yeah, it was similar to like excitement level for me.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted it to be.
But how did you show it? Like, how did you have that conversation? And I want to know how, like, your support, like, who is your support? Like, what did that look like when you come to them with that type of information? Or do you not really share that? Is that something that you're not really...
I would say that Sam obviously lives the business because it's always here. So there's a very fine line for her. She's definitely, you know, a very, very big supporter of me. But there's a fine line to where it's like, all right, if I'm having a bad day and I'm like pissed walking around the house, you know, making call, doing all this, she's like over it.
Yeah.
But Sam, of course, you know, through and through, she's going to support me. But also, like, she listens to it by choice sometimes and by default.
Yeah.
So my family, like, obviously I'll share all the good stuff with them, and sometimes when I'm stressed, and my dad has been particularly interested in the business and how it goes and stuff. So I think when I just shared that with him is kind of like just like an update, you know, because it was like, okay, this is my 6-month mark. I hit this.
Yeah.
So it was never me. I don't like to talk about, you know, like numbers and stuff like that, like with people. So it wasn't that. It was more so like I shared like an update, you know, like on Twitter or Facebook, like, thank you everyone for the support. Like, we just hit our 1 year. Yeah. And then he would be like, how did it go? Or like, you know, so it was more conversation as opposed to like, I just did this, you know? Yeah. So kind of more relaxed.
Why is it that you do that? Because I feel like people, you're holding, are you holding the information back from, like, you don't want to sound like you're doing too well or is it like you're just not that type of person, like not to, because like, I'll give an example, right? Like we're playing FIFA. Yeah. You score a goal. Yeah. You're going to be all up, going crazy. Yeah. You're watching the Tigers or the Lions or whatever our teams are, you know, and you're watching, Michigan play against Ohio. And we're winning. Like we've been doing for the last couple of years. So that moment, I've seen you in those moments. I've seen you play soccer and get so emotional that you get kicked out of the dang facility. Or you try to fight 20 people. And I'm like, God, not again. And so it's like, where's the difference here? Why is it that you are so humble when it comes to your success in business compared to your life, your regular, like your fun? Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're so much of a humble, tight-knit, not really brag, this, but only in business. Out here, I'm not saying that you're like bragging or anything, but like you're like loud and that your personality is a little bit different. Why is that? Is it something that you're scared of? Is it something that you're just humble, you don't want to brag? Or like, what is that?
I definitely love carrying myself in a humble way. Okay. So, you know, if it's, and I've been like that for a long time. So when it comes to others, you know, especially if it was school, you know, if I was getting a straight A on every test, I wouldn't want to say that. I would want to find someone, you know, like who's struggling, like who can I help? And I think, not you. You weren't even there. You weren't even at school. But
don't say that. My mom was probably
that was a joke, by the way.
Yeah, no, she knows.
Anyway, I think what it comes down to is like team stuff and others. Yeah, I'm very, very energetic and loud, passionate. You know, forthcoming. Yeah. With myself though, it's like if I do something, I'm really happy. I'm gonna tell like, you know, my close friends, family, whatever. But like I never want to come off as like bragging or boastful. I like being humble. You know, I think it's the right way to carry yourself.
That's amazing. I don't know if I would be the same. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's so. I don't see that pretty much anywhere. Like I said, like you're watching people on TikTok, YouTube, whatever the social media is.
Yeah.
And I mean, now even like the news is like following suit in like the social media like trends and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like the boasting and the putting your stuff out there with celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Now it seems like it's becoming like people don't want to see that as much.
Yeah.
But for you, it's not about that. You're saying that I can tell like that it's just you have your fun and then your business, and you're humble as crap in your business. And it's quite amazing to see, but damn, do I want you to like be, I don't know if it like, are you not happy with your wins? Are you not celebrating, and are you losing out on that, like that feeling? Mm-hmm. Or are you just, is your celebration the small win of like the small celebration and move on? Or do you have like this giant goal that you're trying to hit and then you'll celebrate? What is it?
I think personally, like I definitely have goals myself, you know, and I'll celebrate them myself too. But I don't think, I appreciate you saying that. That's huge, man. It's a huge compliment. But like, I just, no matter what, like if I won the presidency or whatever, I wouldn't ever want to come across as like, you know, like I'm just another human. You know what I mean? Like it's a team sport. It's a team life. Like I don't even mean to be all philosophical, but like, you know, I don't like to stand out. You know, if that makes sense. Now, we talk about a team, or like if we're playing soccer against someone else. Like no. Like
where's that difference? Why is there a difference? What is that for you? Like, is it? That's what I'm trying to say is like when you're playing soccer specifically, and like nobody has really seen this except for like a handful, like the teammates or like the people that are on the other team that mostly hate you. I would say on the other team. I would say, and I would say that I am like I like to make friends on the field, you know, and
you do. I know you know,
and so like when you're in the fight and it's like 6 dudes that are like wanting you to kill you on the field, and I'm sweet talking the rest of the team, making friends, and like, hey, please, like he's just an idiot, but like he's really smart. Like you don't, if you knew, like
I've heard that in the background through my rage so many times. You're just like, no, he's good. You know, just let him do his thing.
Yeah, just like he's okay. Like I'll get him 1 sec. Like but like it's so different, and so it's just when I because we've talked about like your stuff and I remember watching and kind of seeing little bits and pieces and kind of seeing you, like I would come to U of M and we would party or whatever, and it would be like that. Yeah. And then we would go play pickup or whatever it was. It was always some sort of celebration in the sense of just like having fun seeing our boys. Yep. And like it's always that. And you are always the dude lifting people up, like in that sense of like, oh, you see Seth, or you see one of our like friends, or you see me, and you're always like, "What's up, dude? Like,
I know,
how you been?" Like, and you're always like,
I know,
always so up. What, like, the difference is it's insane. It's night and day.
But that's interesting to hear from someone else, because like I don't ever talk about like that with somebody else, but like from your point of view, it's cool to me though in a good way, because I like that. Like that's exactly how I want it, to be. Yeah. Because I don't get me wrong. There's great stuff that I want to celebrate, like with the business, with myself, whatever. But I don't know, time and place maybe, or like close friends only. Like I do.
But you're happy.
Oh yeah.
Like you're solid.
Definitely happy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the business is great. Like don't get me wrong. I'm like not perfect. I need better discipline with myself. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, absolutely. Business going well. Yeah. Very happy with it. It's hard, but I wouldn't change a thing.
Dude, that's badass. Every time that I see a post, and I think that's one of the things that why I wanted to do this interview with you is like, I had so many, like I was just like, holy, like I'll see a post and you're like, you'll post it on Facebook or whatever. We hit this mark. We hit this. We did this, and we're doing this guy or whatever. I'm not going to tell you the name, but he's a famous guy, and it's like,
yeah, I'll tell you when there's not 6 mics around.
Yeah, I'll keep this in my pocket. But it's just it was so strange it was strange in a good way to see, and it was like I'm gonna shout myself out in the sense of biggest failure, and in no way am I looking for pity here. I have failed at damn near everything that I've gone after.
But you've tried.
I have tried.
That's the difference.
And whoop-de-doo, right? And it feels good. It's awesome. But at the end of the day, seeing somebody that I know, or I don't, even if they're freaking strangers, I love seeing success.
Yeah.
And I just, every time I see that, I love that. And I'm always like, what is he doing to, like, is he going out? When you know, and it's like, God, like, every moment I'm like, okay, he's doing, like, he's having fun. But you're saying it's just, it's new day, same work.
Pretty much,
you know? Pretty much. You're just like, just trying to progress and just trying to support and do your thing.
Yeah, and I know this is more of a conversation. I mean, obviously this is going to be your podcast and I'm the guest right now, but I want to flip it back to you, because if there's one thing I can say to highlight who you are as a person, there's only a very, very small percentage of the human population that is going to be genuinely happy for others' success and not fake about it. Because a lot of happiness for others is just envy or spite. Yeah. And so many people might look at where I'm at or where someone else is at, or a pro sports player, whoever it is, and say, I'm so happy for you, and then turn around and talk shit and say, well, they stole to get there, or they bribed their way, whatever it may be. Really not doing that. But you have been, you deserve it, bro. Like that's why
I appreciate that. And,
of course.
And I think the biggest thing is, I said, like, oh, I don't care what people think, and dude, my Instagram probably looks pretty cool to some people. I've had that comment like, oh, it looks so nice, whatever. And it's like, like, it looks cool, like, but like, dude, there's some dark days, dude. Like, I bet. And I have failed and failed and failed and tried and tried.
That's the key, though. That's the key.
And I think why I'm so happy and so, like, just proud of not only you, but like other people, other friends, other family, whatever, is because I know how hard it is to not have somebody in your corner. And I know how hard it is to not be heard or not to be seen or feel like you have to follow this road of this is what society thinks is success. This is the road that you have to go. And if you don't go this road, you are not going to succeed and you are a failure no matter what you do. Yeah. Yeah. But then you look and you hear these podcasts and you hear these businessmen and women and these guys that are like millions of dollars and they seem pretty happy, and who knows, right? Yeah, yeah. But like, they didn't go to college, or maybe they dropped out, and it's like every time it's the story. It's like, they didn't do what society and my grandma think is I have to do to be successful. Exactly. And so I think what I'm trying to spotlight here is that, I've failed at a lot of things, but seeing you succeed gives me hope to try again. Dude, do you know what I'm saying? And so I think that's kind of the point of this whole thing that I'm recording is ramble and reflect. It might be a little corny or whatever it is, but it represents just having conversations with random people and feeling just a little bit less like you're doing it by yourself. Awesome. And I love hearing this. And so that being said, I actually have something for you. And so I'm going to send you something and I want you to play it out loud. Okay. And it's for you. So it's this is a different segment that I'm going to start doing. Okay. And so I'm pretty excited for it. I sent you something. This is kind of just a little thing that I wanted to do. It's a segment that I want to do in all of my episodes if possible. I'm not going to give it away, but if you could, I'm just going to push play here. So here, I don't want. It's what's the say it out loud to everybody. Yeah. If they have my phone, my passcode. So.
Hi, babe. I love you so much. Thank you for showing me that happiness is more important than any job or social norm out there. I couldn't have dreamed up a better life, and I'm so glad I get to experience every day with you. I know this happiness and amount of love will continue for the rest of our long, healthy, amazing life together. Thanks for showing up for me every day, and I hope I always do the same for you. I can't wait to see what else we get to experience together. Okay, I love you lots. Bye.
Bro.
I had her send this over.
Oh my God,
yeah.
man.
How do you?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So
when did you do it?
The segment is specifically to send a message to the guest, and you happen to be the guest, and so I got your fiance to send a message, kind of representing what she would say in the sense of like not being able to say something ever again, and giving you some sort of something to kind of hold on to and to feel some sort of way, so that you can feel that, you know, other people like care and like.
Wow! Yeah. Oh my God! When did you?
Yeah. So
how did you plan this ahead of time? Now it's like it's all coming together.
So like I reached out a couple of days ago for a video with the whole like prompt and kind of just guiding.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she sent that over, and so I wanted to give that to you as kind of like that's not me giving it to you. But
yeah.
Set it up so that you get something in the sense of somebody cares. And this person is somebody that sees you every day, sees you at your lowest, sees you at your highest, and loves you. And,
wow, bro.
And really is proud of you. And even the small conversations that I had with her about it and about you, it was not hard to get that. And so it's just something that is really cool, and it's cool to have.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's no words.
Yeah.
No words. You outdid yourself with that one.
I see the person that you are with, and knowing you,
mm-hmm.
it couldn't have been a better pick. I mean, I know you guys aren't married yet, and this is not like a speech or something, but I am so happy to, you know, you said something where it's like, you know, there's some friends or there's people that like are fake happy to your face.
Yeah.
And I think I've done it, you know, not maybe to you, but like, you know, I've done it for sure where I'm like, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like it, but you know, it's definitely, it's there. But you know, some people, and I'm saying this in the sense of like marriage and being together, I think a lot of times, some relationships, people tend to joke about,
mm-hmm.
or tend to have their opinion about and project and do whatever. Right?
Absolutely.
And I can say from the moment that I knew that you guys were dating, I didn't know her in the sense of like just knowing her from school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then when I got to hang out with you guys,
mm-hmm.
it was like, why is this? It went so flow and so easy. Awesome. And so I kind of want to have you touch base on that. Okay. How much that meant to you, how much, like, how did you guys meet? What was that like? And how does she then support, like, how does she support you? Like, is that like you're talking to her, or is it just like, no matter what, you just feel the support?
That's,
you know?
That segment, that like just hearing her voice, I hear it every day, mm-hmm. every single day, but hearing it like when you would least expect it was, man, I wish like I could flip it. It's an incredible idea that what you're doing, and just hearing that in this moment it felt like it wasn't her. You know, like I knew it was her, but I felt like I was hearing her from a place that like I can't reach her. You know, like like this, like you said, like, you know, if she could only say one thing, you know, that's how it felt, because it's a recording. It was extremely, and I think it's representative of what you were saying we are, because the good, the bad, the ugly, the fun, everything, it's like she's there for me, and that is huge, especially with where I'm at in life too, because I can't turn to a coworker or someone else in my life. You know, I have, of course, my family as well, but now Sam is home. You know, like, so my whatever it may be, you know, my doubts, my happiness, my worries, my anything, she's there, and it's a big role in my life for sure to, think about us as a family and think about her long term. And I think what she said in the message, which I blacked out, halfway through, like it's just surreal. So it's very, very motivating to hear that and just like reflect, I guess.
Yeah. Is there a moment, like the prompt to that is, there's people in this world that they go through their life and it may end early. It may end, you're 70 something and you have a heart attack, or maybe you're younger, maybe, like we've experienced like suicide, like from friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like maybe people don't get to share things or to people that they love.
Yeah.
And I wanted to take a moment and let somebody do that and give the opportunity. And that was kind of the prompt, right? And I think that is hard, and I think that it can get corny in the sense of like, oh, like how are you proud of this person?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think for me, I think that I come off as I talk a lot, like I've said a couple times here, and I think the reason that I do that is because it makes me feel a little bit less lonely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's just me. I know some people don't work the same way, but for me, even hearing that, I mean, I got choked up. Like, even if she didn't say much, it was like, it's just like somebody loves something, like whatever. Yeah. And I mean, but I cry over like a commercial or something.
So do I. Yeah, like, I know.
But what is that? Like, are you an emotional person? Are you showing? Like you said, you cried a couple of times for like for big stress moments and whatnot. But how is it that representation in your relationship here does that fade into other relationships for you? And how do you react in those situations? Do you know what I'm saying? Like how do you, on your worst day?
I think what I've learned a lot from Sam and just the last however many 8 years, something like that, together, like in relationships, that has carried over is her willingness to go out of her way for people that she loves and cares about has showed me, and I've always been a giving person and I want to help others, but seeing someone do it like 10 times what I do is like, man, you got to tell the people that you care about that you do care about them, because like you said, if you don't talk, you don't know, and like so it's really she's made me a better person for sure, because when it comes to the people that I care about and whatnot, that's all you really have at the end of the day, like without those people in your life, your good friends, your family, your significant other, if you have one, like, I mean, what are you? You know what I mean? So it's a blessing.
A little speechless. I think that for me, I get so, I would say, involved, so emotional in a lot of things, even like little things, like just everyday things, I think. And I want to share that with people. And so I appreciate you for having this conversation, for getting deep, for talking about each and every one of these things. Do you have any sort of message to give to anybody, to your mom, your dad, to your sister, Sam, future things? What is it that you could do or say if this was the last thing that you could say?
It's tough,
especially on camera.
Yeah, and especially on camera, there's a lot, but I think the way I try to live my life and kind of base my decisions on that is, it's not anything like insane or whatnot, but if I can only say one thing to anyone random that I know, or the entire audience, it's like, if you as a person go to bed every single night knowing that you treated others how you want to be treated, that is a successful day. And I think a lot of people lose track of that in their daily life because they matter more than everyone else. Their traffic route matters more. Their job matters more. Their performance matters more. Their money matters more.
Yeah.
Everything. But I was raised to treat other people how I want to be treated. And in everything I do, business, interactions on the street with a homeless person, if I were them, how would I want to be treated? And it, 1% action it changes the world.
One person
Changes everything. So it's not, it's specific to me. It's not anything that's like super grand, but if you ask yourself that at the end of the day, truthfully, off camera, before you go to bed, did I treat everyone how I would want to be treated?
Yeah.
Whether they're rich, poor, male, female, black, white, anything.
Yeah.
Treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. We learn that every day.
I know.
When we're little kids.
Exactly.
Look both ways and treat everybody how you want to be treated.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's a good message. I think
it's true.
End it,
Yeah.
I think, I enjoyed the conversation.
I did too, man. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
Of course.
No worries.
And that was clean too. Yeah.